Yes, hello everyone. I got my first takeaway from the session today, which is that I get a new gas station in my neighborhood pretty soon because I live in Harlaching. Today I will talk a little bit about car sharing and especially how the digital world changed car sharing. Because if you look back for about 20 years, car sharing was of course existing, but completely different to what we see today. If you look at the major things you have to do with car sharing, you have to find the car, you have to open the car, you have to drive the car. Way back in 1995, 1997, you had these ugly backyards where you could find few cars. You had to know these backyards, you had to go there, and then of course you could use a car. You had to get the key from some people. It was possible to reserve the car, but only during office hours. And then you drove a car, often an older one, so pretty inconvenient. Now in 2015, that business completely changed. It is now possible to locate your car via smartphone, via smartwatch. It is possible to reserve these cars. And of course, you open these cars either with a smartwatch or with a small chip. And then you often drive very low-emission vehicles, EU6 standard, often electric vehicles. So we DriveNow, we are in that business, and what are we all about? I think there are two major points. On the one hand side, it's a very convenient concept. It's truly urban mobility, meaning that we are looking at demand-based areas where we see that demand for car sharing is high, and we focus, which are our business areas, on these areas. We do not have fixed rental stations. It's possible to take over the car and to drop the car wherever you want within that business area. And it is, of course, one-way car sharing, because a lot of your use cases are only one-way, and this is reflected in the concept. And on the other hand side, we do have a state-of-the-art price model, which means that we are charging only what you're using. We do not have any fixed fees. It's just purely payment by the minute. And to make that a little bit more clear how that digital world changed the whole car sharing industry, I got here the figures delivered by the Bundesverband Carsharing since 1997, how the users of car sharing evolved over time. And you see that with kicking in of the free-floating car sharing in 2011, 2012, that whole business took a completely new way. Huge increase in member figures, and what is very interesting is that not only the free-floating car sharing businesses profited from that, but also the station-based car sharing had growth rates they didn't see over 20 years. So both concepts are working quite well together. And it is not only a very interesting business, but there are also very positive effects towards cities, because what we see and what is proven now by independent studies is that one car-sharing car is able to replace up to 10 privately owned cars. And these are often old cars, EU3, EU4 standard, and they are replaced by very modern vehicles like EU6 standard or electric vehicles, completely emission-free. Plus, these cars are driven much longer than a privately owned car. Privately owned car is you drive it for around 1 hour per day. Our cars are driven 3 to 5 hours a day, so much more utilized and freeing up space in the city. We did market research, and what we see is that 1 of 10 of our customers until now abandoned their own car due to car sharing, which is an enormous figure. Alone in Germany, this is 40,000 cars we got off the street. And we see that the model split of car-sharing customers does change. People, they are using car sharing, but they are more often using public transport. They walk, they use bike sharing. So for the ecosystem city, this model split is much more vital. So how will car sharing evolve? How will it look like in another 20 years? There are predictions from Frost & Sullivan that in 2020, they expect 15 million car sharing users in Europe. We did see 1.5 million in 2014, 1 million of them in Germany. And this is factor 10 within 5 years' time. And we see a lot of development in different areas which are supporting car sharing. Let it be the population and customers who are changing. Let it be, of course, the digital world, mobile apps which are came into place. Another very important part is politics, because we are talking to a lot of cities at the moment, and the cities all have the same problems. They have a lot of congestion, they have a lot of parking pressure, and they're trying to get rid of privately owned cars in the city. For example, London having the congestion zone. A lot of other cities are thinking about similar concepts. And what is interesting is that some cities are now thinking that car sharing can be considered as public transport, allowing them to increase the use of car sharing and to incentivize car sharing for their inhabitants. And of course, technology. You heard a few times today the word autonomous cars. At the moment, we are in a stage where we have partially autonomous cars, which is a great thing for users, a little bit more convenient. But with fully autonomous cars, the business model is changing completely, because think of cars which are coming to your place instead of you have to walk to the cars. And that will be another game changer here. So a lot of trends which are going in our direction, and I hope I could get you first insights into car sharing. Thank you.